Welcome to the Talk Bout. I don't even remember we have not done a podcast in a month. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here, and I don't know how to do the intro right now, and I'm not even going to try to mess it up. But we're at Rev. We're not at Penn Del Mar Power. It has been basically a month since Riley and I have done an actual podcast. For the people that actually follow Talk Bout, you guys have seen that we've been doing a lot of things here at Rev.
It's been a month since the podcast.
Yeah, it's literally been a month since we've done a podcast together. We did one podcast after O'Malley won the belt.
And that
was over Zoom. It got a bunch of views, though. It did pretty well, even though it was over Zoom. Or not even over Zoom. You recorded a video, I recorded a video.
Separately, yeah.
So we've been trying our best, but it's been a great time for Talk Bout with Talk Bout Jiu-Jitsu, and we're going to talk about that in another podcast for those that are interested in that. But we've been trying our absolute best to keep the Talk Bout podcast always happening, and we're happy to say now we are going to be resuming back with the Talk Bout podcast every single Monday, so we plan to be at Penn Del Mar Power again, and we'll be back. As far as the gameplay and Talk About that, we're working on the schedule right now. There's a lot happening with Talk Bout Jiu-Jitsu, so just stay tuned. We're going to figure that out.
UFC 5's coming out soon, and I don't have the Xbox for it, so we have to get a new Xbox and the whole thing.
Yeah. UFC 5 is coming out, so that's why we're trying to figure it out. And so just keep your eyes peeled. Go on our Instagram, Talk Bout Podcast. That's where all the updates happen. YouTube is our main source of the actual content, but if you want the updates, go to Instagram, Talk Bout Podcast. That's where you're going to figure it out. But we had to do a little update. We don't have a lot of time. Riley has to go to work. It's been a rush to even, it literally took 30 minutes, typical Talk Bout Podcast stuff. Next week, or the next week's podcast number 50, Riley and I will finally be back at our old setup.
So let's
promise a legit podcast. Next podcast.
Yeah, we'll be legit.
Let's do a long podcast. Yeah. Let's get it out. But we have to talk about this. On Saturday was my sister's wedding, and Riley was at the beach, so we weren't able to watch it together. It was the third pay-per-view of the year that we couldn't watch a UFC event. Every other one we have.
Predictions, too.
We didn't even get to say our predictions. We didn't say anything. But Riley's prediction was Sean Strickland.
I wanted him to win.
And he won. And when you texted me, I was literally sitting down. It was right after all the speeches, I think. And I sat on my phone for 20 minutes just looking at everything. I've watched I've watched as many highlights as I can. But how do you watch the full fight? How would I been able to watch the full fight? I was at a wedding.
Izzy looks slow.
I was told. I mean, I've watched what I could watch.
He looks so telegraphed. Strickland was just better in that octagon.
Yeah. So,
I don't know if Izzy was hurt. Dana said.
I don't think he was.
He said what was wrong.
Eugene, his head coach Eugene said that there was nothing wrong, and he said there's no excuses. He said he didn't show up tonight because I think we could go at it again tomorrow, and I think Izzy could win. There's no excuses.
said to Dana, he was like,
I'll talk to you later. Yeah. I don't think they're making any excuses, though.
So
fight to fight, man. Sean Strickland's good. And it's not that he's not good. So do they rematch?
Philly Shell.
Yeah. Do they rematch, Floyd?
No.
No? Oh, stop.
Dude, he just got a rematch. No.
Izzy is a...
No.
Defending.
No.
See, you are just a casual. This is why.
How?
This is why I can't wait to get back to the podcast. Because that's ridiculous. Adesanya has... Look at his resume. Look at his resume. How many world championships has he defended?
In the last 7 fights.
Okay, come on. Come on.
What who did
Against
he lose
who?
to?
Bejeda? Strickland?
Strickland?
Yeah, he's world class, man. He won. I mean, I don't know what you want.
Everybody said before the fight, he sucks. He's not that good. He's going to get dominated.
I think
he said he's going to get dominated.
Most people would think that Israel Adesanya would beat Sean Strickland, but he lost.
Yeah.
But guess what? How do you not give the guy a rematch?
He's going to lose again, probably.
I don't think so. I think...
No. I do.
You're just, weird. But I haven't watched the full fight.
I don't think Adesanya's washed.
No, I'm not saying
he's just... He was...
But how do you not give him a rematch?
The wrong side of the bed.
Well, speaking of waking up on the wrong side of the bed for the last 6 fights, how about Tai Tuivasa getting subbed by Volkov, 50-year-old Russian?
Yeah. He needs to start watching UFC.
Yeah, like, I know, for real. He doesn't even know where he's at. So, but it sucks because he was becoming a star, and then Sirigan just knocked him into the next world, and that was the end of that. Yeah. Speaking of Sirigan, how about we talk about that? Sirigan destroyed Polar Bear. That also happened. Thug Rose broke her finger and lost to Ferret, who's an animal. And can I just talk? Yeah, we'll get to that. But can I just say that division, dude? By the way, the two leaders of that division are going at it this Saturday. Yeah. Shevchenko and Grasso. On
a fight night.
Yeah, but it's going to be a great. We have to watch it together.
Yeah, we will.
It's going to be a great freaking fight night. There's so many great fights. That is such
Tracy Cortez
a good
on the fight.
Stop.
Dude, that one...
there's so many good fighters in that division. Ferret and Blanchfield, who didn't even give the chance. Who gets the title shot? And if Shevchenko wins, they'll probably do a trilogy.
Who do you give it to?
Yeah.
Tracy Cortez.
Okay, see, this is... I miss the old Riley. Go. You know what? Here's what I want you guys to do.
No.
Next week, we're going to restart with our podcast schedule. Finally get back. We'll be in Penn Del Mar Power. But go back to the old podcast. The one that I would recommend is the debate. The debate. The GOAT Debate podcast. That's when Riley was at his peak. And now he's just...
Yeah, well, John Jones.
Slowing down. He's getting old. He's getting old. He calls me old. He's getting old. Look at the clock. You're like, what time is it? It's time for bed. What time is it? What time is it? I told him to go bring out the bed.
I ain't trying to get fired.
I told him to go fluff up the pillow. You're not trying to get fired. You're at work freaking every day, bud. Yeah, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the podcast that we got. But like I said, this week it's coming back. We had to give you guys the updates. We had to say our reactions. Don't think Ryan and I aren't watching the UFC anymore because that's not the case. Yeah. But Talk Bout Tournament's just been taking over everything. Thank you guys so much for all the love on that, for the people who do support it. We're about to talk about that in a second. Ryan's probably going to have to leave midway through, so I'll probably just finish up by myself here. But, yeah. It's been good. And and next podcast not only will be long, but we are going to finally get to talk about really the pay-per-view we've been looking forward to for a year. Because this pay-per-view we knew was going to happen again. We knew, we didn't know Hamzat would fight Costa necessarily, but Hamzat hasn't fought in literally over a year, 2 days ago, over a year.
Make it look so easy. I already know.
And Charles and Islam round 2. So it's going to be... Just be ready for the next one. The next podcast, number 50. Let's bring it back like the old days, brother.